Alright, so first off, I'd like to say Kal, Allah, Yahweh, Bashmi, Shai, Bashmi, Kakodash. To be honest to the apostles of Great Stone, and shalom to the brothers pushing this word in all sincerity and in all honesty, and shalom to you sisters and you helps out there, supporting ministry. This is the brother Ash from the GMS Jamaica camp with another impromptu, right? And without further ado, I'll get right into it. Alright, so the headline reads, Ukraine accelerates the Great Reset when the US confiscated Russia's dollar reserve. The world got a wake-up call. Now, if you can recall, in the last video I did, I was talking about, the reformation of the economic system and the money that they wanted, the new money, the new global currency that they wanted to implement. I was talking about the US dollar going down and all that. Now, this, if you, I'm going to go through this article, and I want you to pay attention to the terms being used, right, to further show you that, this is the plan that these men have to the entire planet, right? So he said Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum, has been dreaming of a great reset for the global system. He has argued that C-19 and the climate crisis showed that no country is an island, that more global coordination in every domain is required. He said a great reset would enable us to reimagine the global system by developing a human-centric economic system prioritizing sustainable use of resources, making sure that Industry 4.0, which is the fourth industrial revolution, technology serves the common good and creating a new global financial architecture. So right here, just the concept of the Great Reset alone should show that they want to reset the life as we know it, right? He said they wanted to create a new global financial architecture, which means they're going to erase the old one, right? And with the old one is going to go all the money, all the paper currency, that there's not going to be any currency specific to any country anymore. It's going to be one world currency, right? So the US dollar is definitely going to go down. And as I was saying in the last video, it's not going to be the ruble, right? Not the yuan, nor the yen, right? Definitely not the Jamaican dollar, right? And this is what these men have planned. He said in January, Schwab persuaded Chinese President Xi Jinping to address the annual WEF World Economic Forum. That's when he said that's what that means. Meeting in Davos, Switzerland, that brings together the world's financial, political, and cultural elite. Speaking by video link from Beijing, Xi called for international cooperation to deal with the climate change, economic inequality, and other global challenges. You would say economic inequalities, right? Because of course the world economically unequal, because you have some economies more powerful than some, hence the value of a certain people dollar, more than another set of people dollar, right? Hey, but what these men are planning is not for you people. You need to know that, right? These men, they don't say the planet, having so much people. First of all, right? They say the planet remaining as on the Georgia Guidestone, 500 million or less, right? And right now the world is approaching 8 billion people. So you can just imagine the genocide that these men plan to commit. Hey, this system you hear them talking about, this system is not for the common people. You know what Schwab and him friends call the common people? Him call them useless eaters. That's something to think about, right? Let me just get in some precept before I continue. I have one specific here that I want. Alright, let's start at verse 1. This is Psalm 36, verse 1. It said, to the chief musician of Psalm of David, the servant of the Lord, Yahweh Bashmi Shai. Right, continuing. It said, the transgression of the wicked say it within their heart that there is no fear of God in his eyes. Right, because they don't fear God. That's why Schwab's right hand man or advisor, saying that, we're looking for better in this world, but it's not going to come from some God above the clouds, right? Because they see themselves as God, right? They see themselves as God, right? We got them proud. Continuing, it's for he flattered himself in his own eyes until his iniquity be found to be hateful. Right? He flatter himself. Right? Him think himself for be all that. He might tell himself that, I am the Almighty Power, because he's now taking up the role like he's the Most High, trying to eliminate people, trying to get rid of who he thinks should die and let him live who he thinks should live, right? And how he wants them to live. Continuing, verse 3 said, the word of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He had left off to be wise and to do good. Right? He said he left off to be wise and to do good. What kind of good they can say come from these people? Think about it real hard. Think about the history, think about the track record. If you don't want to think about slavery and the North American Indians, think about Palestine, think about Iraq. Right? Think about the Middle East and what they've been doing there. These men go around the earth, policing the whole earth, and robbing and defiling people, Right? He said he devised mischief upon his bed, right? And but we're read about now, with Schwab and his friends talking about a great reset. That is a great mischief they might devise upon them beds, and right now they might try to execute it. Right? He sitteth himself in the way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Right? You see, we keep on telling you that what these men have planned, right, is not for you people. Right? It's not for your good. Right? Them disguise it. They disguise it by saying things like, sustainable. They say things like there won't be any thefts. If you will be secure, your identity will be secure, everything will be easier. They disguise it so they disguise it so craftily, right? That if you're not paying attention, right, you wouldn't see how it will hurt you, right? And this is what these men are, right? They're deceivers, right? But you know what? I had something before. Let me see if I can go back to it. Right, it's a least Satan get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right, this is 2 Corinthians 2:11, by the way, Salakia. Right, because if you're not watching what's going on, right, or paying attention, right, or even deeper than that, if the Spirit of the Lord is on you, then you're gonna get deceived by Satan's devices. Right, you're gonna get deceived by his smooth words. Right, and how him talk, how him bring things across. Right, you're gonna be tricked like the politicians of my country, of Jamaica. Right, you're gonna get tricked like them. Right, they're gonna lure you in, just like when you're catching a fish, you put a lure on the hook. They're gonna lure you in, right, and then they're gonna pull you out of the water, and then you're gonna be, as the saying goes, like a fish out of water. You're not gonna know what to do. Because these men are not for you, they're for their transhumanism project, being immortal in this world, right, and despising all that is called God. Right, that's what they're about. Let me go back over to the article real quick. I just wanted to get in this part down here. That's talking about the dollar. Hold on. Alright, so it said, by addressing the meeting, Xing signaled the endorsements of the spirit of Schwab's WEF program, but he also cautioned against confirmation that would have, in his words, catastrophic consequences. Now, what kind of catastrophic consequences can this Great Reset cause? Key on point: depopulation, genocide, mass starvation, wars. It will not be a smooth transition. First of all, in their eyes, the world is overpopulated, and then if we diminish population before them sustainable this sustainable society can even work. And then I saw the heading under I saw the heading right here. A dollar reset. The idea of reset of the global system gained currency after the 2008 financial crisis tragedy by the collapse of the investment bank Lehman Brothers. The US government spent trillions of dollars to prevent the meltdown of the financial system. When the dust settled, a growing number of financial and economic experts warned that the massive US debt fueled by quantitative easing, expansion of the money supply, right, would ultimately cause a massive inflation and undermine the role of the dollar as the global reserve currency. Now, as I mentioned in the video yesterday, is that there's a lot of money the US have a lot of money printed and out there. The reason why it keeps its value and it doesn't slide is because it's a world reserve currency and it is the petrodollar, and the demand for the US dollar is what keeps it having its value. Now, as soon as it loses the demand, right, and people stop using it, it's going to lose its value, and because of the amount of it in circulation, it is going to cause hyperinflation, right? And that is economics 101. That's what's going to happen, right? But that is the plan. That is the plan for these elite. They plan to get rid of the US dollar, right? And they plan to say, see, this is what a country, relying on their dollar to do whatever. This is what it causes. They can't blame the dollar itself for all the wars them what the US have in the Middle East and Africa and so forth. Right? Because they can say if it was for the dollar, then they wouldn't go to war, right? Because it was all about the US dollar remaining for be, the petrodollar and so forth. Right? They can easily use it as an excuse to say, look, you see, this is what this causes. When everybody have their own currencies, it can cause war. Because everyone is competing to have the stronger currency. Right? So these are the things that these men are going to use, to demote, having your own currency. And of course, they're going to use having your own armies in your own country, for say that is what one of the things, that contribute to war. Hey, these men, you have no idea what these men plan, yo. You have no idea, right? Them say they won't go for a global reset, and trust me, it is a reset. Because a total different system for what all of you people know. Right? It's in 2014, Dutch financial journalist William Middelkoop published The Big Reset, War on Gold and the Financial Endgame. He argued that the US would try to keep the dollar, you hear the argument? The US would try to keep the dollar the dominant currency by engineering a reset for the financial system. But the thing is that's one of the problem, because the US is always going to try to keep their dollar for be, the dollar for be the dollar for use, right? So if there's going to be a reset in their eyes, then the dollar is the one that's going to come out and be our world currency for all countries, right? But that is not what the global elite is on. That is not their plan. Right, so that's one of the main things that's going to lead everybody else to fight against America. Right, he said he predicted that the gold would be one of the anchors of the new financial system. The price of gold could triple, and to reflect de facto devaluation of the dollar. Now, where I'm going wrong right here is that gold is not going to be the new currency, or the new currency is not going to be backed by gold. It's going to be a digital currency that's going to be programmable money, and it's going to be backed by nothing at all, right? It's going to just like the US dollar is going to have value because they said it have value, and this is what its value, right? That's about it. Right, it's gonna go. It's just gonna be their programmable money, right? That does whatever they want it to do, right? And even then, concept of basic, universal basic income, right? It's not going to be, it cannot be for everybody on the planet, right? That is why the population need to be diminished according to them, right? So I hope this video is edifying. But with that, I'm going to say shalom until the next one.